I would like to thank Rachita Raj for her amazing editing, Vedanti Sikka for the cover design, Radhika Marwa for the overall management, and finally, Chikki Sarkar for initiating the process. I would also like to thank Amelia Neumann-Samek in my office for coordinating and keeping track of the multiple drafts and revisions of the manuscript. Again, there are many others who have helped in this process and otherwise, and I hope I will get to thank them in person one day. Now I know what it takes to write an autobiography. There is so much to say and share that there is never enough space, time, and words to include every important part of one's journey. It is never complete. There are no destinations. The journey just continues. I hope the reader gets a glimpse of my ongoing journey through this book. Part 1. Family, Foundation, Fundamentals. Chapter 1. Parents and Childhood. The little boy and his friend squatted in the dust at the edge of the small crowd, listening intently to the strangers. The strangers were visiting relatives in the village of Tikar, located on the fringes of the Kutch salt desert. They were talking about a wondrous thing they had seen, referring to it as an Aag-gadi. The two boys tried with all their might to imagine the object, and though the strangers were speaking in clear Gujarati, their perception of the thing stayed maddeningly outside their grasp. They were told the Aag-gadi was huge and black, that it had fire inside it, that smoke poured out from its nostrils, and that it moved by itself, as though by magic. It was powerful beyond imagination, as powerful as a god. Behind it trailed many bogies, though the boys had no idea what bogies meant. All the strangers said was that there were people inside the bogies. The boys looked at each other, thinking the exact same thought. This was a thing they had to see with their own eyes. The next morning at 8 o'clock, the boys left their homes for school, just as they always did. But instead of heading for the little white thatched roof building, where they both studied in the 3rd grade, they met at the beginning of the salt pans near the river, just beyond the last houses. The strangers had said the Aag-gadi visited the town of Halwad, 7 miles to the south of Tikar. Not only had the boys never been there, they had never even been beyond the millet fields dotting the outskirts of the village. But they were adventurous boys, and they were consumed with wanting to see the thing. So consumed that they ran the entire 7 miles to the place. When the boys got to Halwad, they asked the people around, "Where is the Aag-gadi?" Some people told them to go to the station. That was the place where the Aag-gadi was going to come. So they went to the station and waited, speculating about what the thing was going to be like. "Maybe it is like a giant water buffalo," said one of the boys. "Maybe it is like 4 bullocks pulling a huge cart," said the other. As they looked away from the station into the distance, they saw something coming towards them. It looked little at first, not much more than a dot. But as it came closer, it grew bigger and bigger, until it was almost upon them. A huge black thing with smoke billowing out of its top, running on its own, with nothing pulling it. They stood there, staring at it, mesmerized. Then suddenly the thing let out a terrifying shriek, which sent the boys bolting off towards the town. They had never heard such a horrible sound. No one had told them the Aag-gadi made a noise like that. It was only when it stopped making the noise that the boys stopped running. Warily they made their way back to the station, not knowing what might happen next. Then they saw the bogies. Peeking inside, they saw people sitting on beds.